The UAE Derby goes as the 4th race on the card, and is probably the second most important race in terms of a North American aspect on the Dubai World Cup card. With no strong North American contenders, this race does offer Kentucky Derby points, and the winner is most likely going to end up in the starting gate on the first Saturday in May. This is a really interesting field that has been assembled. There's a couple of South American 4-year-olds that look like they could be just a little bit more developed than the Northern Hemisphere 3-year-olds, and that goes with Long John and Cupitato, the Argentinian horse, who are the two 4-year-olds that I think have a very good shot. But my top selection in here, and I am such an Aidan O'Brien home fan, I picked Lines of Battle in the Kentucky Derby last year. I'm taking Giovanni Boldini. He had to go into the teeth of that pace with Bobby's Kitten in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. He had to rally right as they were getting flying, and Outstrip just had the absolute dream run of it to pick up the pieces late. Giovanni Boldini, Aidan O'Brien's won the last 2 of these races, and I think that this horse definitely has the ability. He's got the North American breeding. He's Warfront. They'll run on absolutely anything. The hottest sire in pretty much the world right now, other than maybe Galileo. So you've got Giovanni Boldini, who's going to get a good mid-pack trip, and I think he's going to be a short price, unfortunately, but a big shot in my top selection. Second choice in here for me is Cupitato, the Argentinian 4-year-old. He did run 3rd last time out in the Carlos Pellegrino, which is a 1.5-mile race for older horses. And if you remember a horse named Indy Point, who ran 3rd in the Breeders' Cup Turf this past fall, he was a horse that ran, he won the Carlos Pellegrino, I believe. So you're kind of judging the competition on previous years. But he also won the Argentinian Derby and was 2nd in the equivalent of the Argentinian 2000 Guineas. So Cupitato, he's a bit of an older horse. He's only been on the dirt and the turf, no synthetic. But he's had some success on the turf and on some off-goings. So I think he's a horse that can adapt, and we'll see what he can do with definitely a little bit more experience. Obviously, the big Godolphin hopeful is Long John, who was absolutely scintillating in the UAE 2000 Guineas. He just drew off and won for fun. He also won the Caulfield Guineas in Australia back in the fall. He did open up a big lead in that and did almost get caught. He was 3 in front at the 8th pole and won by a diminishing half length. But Long John, he definitely opened up last time. He liked the Tapeta, it looked like. So he'll be another nice horse to play here. But I don't think the UAE 2000 Guineas field was all that strong, so I'm banking on that and just taking a shot against him a little bit. The other horse I wanted to quickly mention was the Wolverhampton horse, Toast of New York. Very interesting horse because we really don't know that much about him. He had the 2 races both at Wolverhampton on the synthetic after the 2 maiden defeats. But once he got there, he won by dozen double-digit lengths in both starts. He was not asked at all. He definitely looks like he can run all day. On the top side, you've got King Mambo, which adds some stamina. You also get some turf and synthetic influences through there. I think he's an interesting horse to throw in off 2 absolutely scintillating performances. So definitely have to respect Toast of New York, another American bred in the field. The $2 million UAE Derby going 1 mile and 3/16 is a Kentucky Derby points race. Definitely going to be worth watching. Just to recap, Giovanni Boldini, the artist, and the horse for Coolmore and Aidan O'Brien is my top selection. We're also going to use Long John and Cupitato, the Argentinian horse. That name is really starting to bug me. And we're also taking a look at Toast of New York as a possible long shot play. But Giovanni Boldini, you heard it here first, guys. Come back for the Alkio Sprint.